My mother's clean. She's not using anymore. She goes to college and gets her degree. She starts a business. And she's finally in a financial position of stability to then have my brother come and move in with us. And as soon as she gets both of us together, myself and my brother, we've got our own place. We're doing great. She loses every single solitary dime she has because she did not understand how to file taxes as a business owner. So while I'm going through all of this, I have to give you guys the parallel so you can understand how I cope with everything and also how I became a songwriter and a fashion stylist. I started writing when I was probably like 5 years old, and I know for a fact that was my escape mechanism. And when I was in the 5th grade, I won a statewide contest in Michigan with a poem. And because I was the winner of this contest, I became published in a book. So whenever you hear me say I was a published author since I was in the 5th grade, so maybe not 5 years old, but in the 5th grade, whenever you hear me say that, because I say that sometimes, that's what I'm talking about. I wrote this poem, it won a statewide contest, and I was published in a book as a result of that. From there, I just then started writing more stories, and then I got into writing songs. And I remember when I was in grade school, I would write songs and get like my cousins and my aunts to be in the group, and I was like the manager of the group. We would make up dance routines, all to the songs that I wrote. I daydreamed a lot about going to places like Paris. I remember a conversation that I had with my aunt when I was a child, and I said to her, "Oh my God, I can't wait to go to Paris. Don't you want to go to Paris?" And you know what she said to me? She said, "Baby, I ain't never going to Paris." Now, mind you, we were poor. So I guess for someone in that financial situation, it's not unheard of for them to say, "I am never going to Paris," because when will I ever have enough money to go to Paris? But me as a child, I understood the power of your words. And I said to her, again, it blows my mind how, I don't know, emotionally intelligent I was, or whatever you want to call it, at that young age. And I said to her, if you say you're never going to go to Paris, then you're never going to go to Paris. Why would you say something like that? Like, you're literally telling the world you never want to go to Paris. And I will never say that for myself. I am going to Paris. I think I was around maybe like 9 years old at this time. And my aunt was like, "Okay, baby, well, whatever. If you think you're going, you're going." And I've been to Paris multiple times. I don't even think my aunt has a passport. Now, that is no shade to my aunt whatsoever, but it is to say and point out the power of your words. When you speak things into existence in the universe, whatever you say to the universe, it will give you what you're asking for. So the fact that she kept saying she would never go because she never had enough money put her in this trap of never having enough money to go. And the fact that I was able to understand to never say that, and I didn't care how broke I was at the time. I was like, I'll be damned if this is going to be my whole life. I'm going to Paris. I was able to go to Paris multiple times. So at the same time that I was writing songs, I was also learning about fashion because my grandmother sewed and made all of the clothes when I was young. So she would take me to Joann's Fabric. As a matter of fact, let me tell you about my grandmother. She's the one who taught me how to write music and everything about fashion because she played the guitar. So she would stand in the way in the kitchen. We had a kitchen that sort of like went around like this, one door on this side, one on the other side. And she would stand on this side of the door with her guitar. And if you came in this way, you'd have to make up a song on the spot before she'd let you through the other way. And I don't know what all of my other cousins and everybody else did, but whenever I would get faced with that challenge, I would come up with a song right on the spot. She'd play the guitar to the song, and I'd get to go through the room. And at the same time, when she was making the dresses and doing the pattern and all of that, I would go to Joann's Fabrics with her. I would sit at the sewing machine with her. I understood fabrication. I understood pattern making, silhouettes and body types because everybody in my family was shaped differently. I just completely got a real working knowledge of fashion and how garments were constructed, while also getting a real working knowledge of how to write a song, all from one person, my grandma. It was like I was living a double life, actually. You know, my mom was in and out of rehab, dealing with her struggles. I am being told not to let her in the house when she comes to the door. I'm having to take $5 to the store and buy food for a week that would last for 2 people. At the same time, when all this is going on, I am writing songs, learning about fashion, and planning trips to Paris, even though I was dirt poor at the time. But by the time I turned 16, everything had changed financially. My mom's business was doing extremely well. I got a brand new car for my birthday at 16. I was going to school dressed in head to toe Gucci, Louis Vuitton, Bally, MCM, those were the brands at the time. Like we went from nothing to a lot. And because my mom had missed so much time, she was very much overcompensating with a lot of very, very, very expensive designer clothing. And that brand new car she bought me would get the windows busted out every week when I went to the club. And I kept going back.